Back with Focus Delaware, we had a giveaway question. The question was, what Focus Delaware sponsor will help you find a fortune right underneath your backyard? Our guest, Ajit George from Sachs Timesharing Vacations Incorporated, will tell us the answer. Ajit, do you know the answer?
I think it's metal detectors.
Metal detectors. That's correct, but you weren't the fifth and sixth caller, Ajit, so you don't win.
Can I run back and make a call?
No, it's too late. But why don't you announce the winners? Dinner for two to Captain's Table is?
Saul Goodman from the 1200 block of West 35th Street in Wilmington.
Yes.
Is the winner. And a pair of 76ers tickets goes to Rita Kelly from the 1700 block of West 13th Street in Wilmington. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations to the winners. You'll be contacted by our Focus Delaware staff, and I think you'll both enjoy your dinner and Sixers tickets respectively. Now I want to tell you about Ajit George, manager of Sachs Timesharing Vacations, Inc. Now, perhaps a lot of you out there think you'll never be able to afford your own vacation home with the high rise in prices of everything. But Ajit's going to tell you how you can do it and still not have to be a millionaire to do it. Ajit, what is timesharing? Why don't you explain the basic principle of it?
The very basic principle is that most people don't vacation 365 days a year. So why buy a vacation home for 365 days a year? So if you take 2 weeks of vacation or 4 weeks of vacation, it would make sense that you would purchase 2 weeks or 4 weeks. And what we have done through timesharing is that you can purchase that amount of time that you can profitably and pleasurably use in a condominium, in a destination, luxurious resort, and you just buy that time and nothing else, and you don't pay for anything else.
Well, Ajit, before we continue to tell any more about them, I'd like to take an opportunity to invite all the people to enter a sweepstake you're going to be having shortly now, too. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have, for anybody that watches Focus Delaware tonight, if they would be kind enough to take this number, 478-3800, and tomorrow, anytime during the day, if they can call that number, we will enter them in a special drawing that we have that is going to occur on Valentine's Day, Bob. And the drawing, if you become the winner, and we will draw it on Valentine's Day, the first prize is a trip for two, including airfare and accommodations to St. Croix at our timesharing resort in the U.S. Virgin Islands, known as the Hotel in the Key. So all you have to do is to watch the show, which you're doing right now, and we'd like you to call 478-3800 and say that you watched this show last night and you'd like to enter the drawing, and we'll enter you, and hopefully you'll become a winner on Valentine's Day.
What's that number again?
478-3800, and mention that you watched Focus Delaware.
Why is a real estate company involved in timesharing? That's not a traditional role of a real estate company, is it?
Sachs is not a traditional company. It's a very creative company. We made a decision about a year ago that a full-line real estate company ought to be a full-service company, that part of what the needs was people like to have investment properties, people like to have vacation homes, and we thought that one way to meet that need is perhaps getting into vacation homes. And we looked at vacation homes, and we thought that that idea that made most sense was timesharing. Bob, it's very interesting that timesharing has grown in the last 5 years. 5 years ago, we sold as an industry $25 million in the country. Last year, we sold close to $1.6 billion in timesharing. So you can see it makes sense for us to get involved in timesharing. We think it's something that almost every American that plans to go on vacation in the next 5 to 10 years, that's the only way to vacation, is to go by timesharing.
Well, you've been kind enough to bring along with you a short video montage of what you offer in terms of vacation spots all over the world. Why don't we take a look at that right now?
That'd be great.
Okay.
I'm George Kennedy. You know, acting isn't always glamorous. It's hard work. That's why vacations are important to me. They're important to all of us. They're a chance to relax and spend time with our families or make new friends. They're simply a chance to get away and do what we want to do. In the next few minutes, I'd like to share some challenging new ideas with you about your vacations. Ideas that can help ensure your future against vacation inflation. You know, before I was in the movies, I used to go to the movies for 10 cents. Now a dime wouldn't buy the butter on the popcorn. Some things just keep going up, and they always will. Inflation is a thief that robs us all. It's certainly reasonable to think that vacation prices are and will continue to be among the hardest hit. And it's equally reasonable to predict that costs may fully double in as little as 8 years. What would that mean to your vacation plans? Will you still be able to keep up? Fortunately, you don't have to. You can fight back as hundreds of thousands of people from around the world have fought back. By making a thoughtful decision about the future, you can secure places for tomorrow's vacation at today's prices. And a little goes a long way. The solution is called several different things, although they all refer to the same basic plan of time-sharing. The important thing is that the concept is the practical application of a proven principle, sharing with others the cost of an item that would otherwise be unattainable. We all apply the concept of sharing whenever we stay in a hotel room, fly on an airplane, or pay for the right to use a golf course or a ski slope. The resort community has found a way to make that idea work for your vacation future. A plan that allows you to actually own the vacation you want and enjoy it year after year, protected against inflation. But let the experts tell you what it is all about.
In my mind, timeshare is the opportunity for a person, a family, to buy a quality recreational piece of property for a unit of space and time. Right now, there are timeshare projects in probably every country in the free world.
Imagine a land of gentle seasons with warm tropical trade winds caressing white sand beaches, crystal clear waters that beckon you, and friendly natives. A land of discovery where the old meets the new. A place to go for escape. A place to go with old friends or to meet new ones. A place to enjoy the finest things life has to offer. Imagine the Bahamas. Like a string of pearls, they stretch southward from Florida, over 700 family islands, each set in an emerald green backdrop of sparkling Caribbean waters. Comfortably warm during the winter months, yet cooled by refreshing breezes in the summer months, the Bahamas boast a pleasant year-round climate. A short trip by air from southern Florida, the island paradise of New Providence encompasses all that is special about the Bahamas. To visit New Providence is to visit the best of the Bahamas. Getting there is easy, with as many as 40 worldwide flights per day. Nassau International Airport is truly just that, international. Non-stop air service is available from Europe, the United States, and Canada.
Today, the original Depew property forms the heart of Shawnee Village and the adjacent community of Shawnee on Delaware, Pennsylvania. The gracious Shawnee Inn rests on the very spot once occupied by a pioneer farmhouse. A nearby waterfall was site of the area's first grist mill. And throughout the surrounding countryside, much of which is maintained as state forest land, the lure of nature today is as enticing as it was for those early explorers. A beautiful, historic backdrop for vacation living in the 1980s. We call it the Shawnee Experience.
Ajit, why should people buy time-sharing?
They ought to buy it because it makes sense. It freezes vacation costs for the future. It makes a vacation affordable for people who either can afford to vacation now but probably can't in the next 10 years. Hotel rates have gone up tremendously. I mean, you take the Sheraton in Wilmington, which is not even a resort town, rates have gone in the last 5 years from $30 a night to $70. Rates do go up, and it's going to be very hard for people to go on vacation. And for the people who can afford a second home, buy the second home as a tax shelter and buy time-sharing for use. And it's also a chance to exchange among hundreds of resorts around the world. That's a whole different topic. I mean, when you buy a place through us, you're not saying that you'll go to the same place every year. What you're saying is that I am planning to vacation, but next year I could change my mind and I can exchange it to Hawaii or Europe or Vail or Stowe or Florida, wherever else you would like.
Incidentally, I'm going to Stowe, Vermont tomorrow morning. I'll be staying in a motel. You're recommending that I buy a time-sharing project there instead, huh?
Well, I'm sure your motel room does not have a living room.
No, it's true.
Does it have a dining room?
No.
Does it have a kitchen?
No.
Okay. Is there an extra person charge if you bring people in?
Yes.
Do you need reservations for it?
Yes, I do.
Can you resell or re-rent your room without their permission?
No.
They'd get upset, wouldn't they?
Yes, they certainly would.
Well, then you should buy timeshare.
I see. Well, you make a good pitch for why I should buy one. Now, you buy it for a week or 2 weeks?
You buy it in increments of a week. Week 1 starts with the first Saturday of the year and ends on the second Saturday. Week 2 starts the second Saturday. So if you plan to go on Labor Day weekend, you might want to buy week 34 every year. And then you can exchange, of course, that week 34 for week 12, which might be end of April 1 year, because you couldn't go.
Well, how do I know I'll like a place? I mean, can I go and just rent one time and
we
try
have
it?
inspection trips to the sites. By the way, our sites are Shawnee up on the Delaware and the Poconos.
Yes.
We represent 2 projects in Hilton Head, South Carolina. We represent 2 projects in Sarasota, Florida, on Lido Beach and Siesta Key. We have a project in Naples, Florida, Marco Island, Florida, the Bahamas, and in St. Croix. We have inspection trips, which are 3 days and 2 nights, and for a very small fee, like $199 to $299 per person, including airfare, accommodations, and food and lodging, we ask you to go down and take an inspection. We don't want you to buy sight unseen. We believe that our products are so superior and so good that when you go down, you'll agree with us that we undersold you. And so we are so confident that we subsidize the trip.
Thanks. That's Ajit George of Sachs Timesharing Vacations, Inc., telling how you can afford a vacation that you never thought you could. And the lineup for next week's show is going to be Francis Clark, Executive Director of the Wilmington Garden Center, Tom Carper, the Delaware State Treasurer, Joseph Brumskill, the Delaware Arts Council, who is Chairman of Black History Month, and Walt Matea. Matea Associates will be our Consumer Spotlight, and Restaurant Corner will feature Bernie's Tavern, a great lunch spot. That's it for Focus Delaware tonight. Stay tuned for next week's show. It's been a pleasure having you watch us tonight. Bye.